Hello and welcome to For Real Life Pod. My name is Sharon. I am a super Bluey fan.
And I'm Tori, a total Bluey newbie, watching the episodes for the very first time.
And together we're reviewing and recapping the many adventures of the Healer family.
Let's dive in.
This episode of Bluey is called Turtleboy.
Turn me up, baby.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 31, Turtleboy. How are you today, Tori?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good. I am excited. We're finally in September.
Yes, we're hoping it will cool down soon, right?
Oh, probably not until November, but at least I can put out my Halloween stuff and not look like a crazy person.
Step in the right direction. I'll take it.
Yes. All right, so today we are back. We are recording. We are talking about Turtleboy. Give us your synopsis.
Bingo is such an amazing kid that she plays with another child and doesn't even realize it.
Yes, in a way that is very true. So what did you think of this episode?
Oh, I can't even begin. Representation matters, and this is how you do it right. Ludo Studios, this was my other synopsis, was Ludo Studios offers a masterclass in inclusion. It's not a plot point. It's not even mentioned. Spoiler alert, the other child is deaf and communicates with her parent through sign language. And it's not even mentioned. It's incredible. Like, I feel like in our day, it was like a special episode. There's a deaf friend and it's a really big deal. And how do you feel about it? And how do I feel about it? And how do we teach everybody about it? Like, that was how it was handled in like our media and like our stuff. The fact that it was just dropped in seamlessly, they don't talk about it. Like, I was just like, oh my God, freaking give Ludo Studios an award. Masterclass. Inclusion matters. I was absolutely blown away.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. I think what you said about how it was handled when we were younger is so spot on, so true. I always think back to that Saved by the Bell episode where Jesse had too much caffeine. Which I know is kind of like a trope for people our age. They're like, if you were alive when Jessie had her thing with like caffeine, you're probably in perimenopause now, right? Like, you see that all over the webs. But it really was. It was handled differently when we were younger, when we were kind of at that age. And Ludo did an amazing job because it's normal. Like, the way to normalize it is to not make a big deal about it, right?
Yep.
And just include the people and stuff. So I thought this was such a cute episode for so many reasons. So let's get into it, and then we can talk a little bit more about it as we go through. It opens and we see Bingo watching Cat Squad on the TV in the living room. Did you notice that? Da-da-da-da-da. Cat Squad.
Yes, we love Cat Squad.
Bandit enters the room and pauses right in front of the TV, wondering why he even entered the living room in the first place. Classic dad move, right?
Yeah, never done that before.
No, never. Bingo freaks out, of course, and tells him that he's in the way. In the way of what? Again, pulling the whole dad move. The TV, duh. What TV? The one behind you. Bandit then looks around and realizes that there is indeed a TV with cats riding motorbikes, because that's normal. In a world full of dogs, these cats are riding motorbikes. Bingo asks him to move, and instead of actually moving, he starts to do a dance move in dad fashion. Bingo says that she meant he needs to move out of the way of the TV, which he finally does. As Bingo thanks him and settles back into watching her show, Dad remembers why he entered the living room in the first place. Boop, click, TV's off. He and Bingo are going to the park.
It's like a mic drop for a dad.
Oh my
Boom.
gosh. And Bingo just was like, what are you doing? And this is where we get the title card.
Love it.
Dad? Oh, it's a Turtleboy.
Oh, some kid must have left it behind.
Once at the park, Bingo notices a toy turtle, which he names Turtleboy, that was left on the swing. Bandit then explains that someone must have left the turtle there and placed it on the swing so that it could be easily found by the owner. Bingo asks Bandit if she can play with the toy, and he says yes. They start to play roller coaster, and then it cuts off to them getting ready to leave. So each of these little times we see like a quick element of them playing with Turtleboy, but then it very quickly transitions to the parent and child having to leave, right? Because there's a lot to happen in this episode. Bandit tells Bingo that it's time to leave and that she should leave Turtleboy at the park, saying that it's not the done thing and that Turtleboy's owner might be looking for him. And we have our Aussie American translation because this is not a phrase I have ever heard before.
Yeah, I looked it up too.
I mean, I think you can kind of understand what it means, right?
But
and I guess it's something that is more commonly said in Britain or the UK and in Australia, but that's not necessarily a phrase that you hear here.
Yeah.
Bingo agrees and leaves Turtleboy on the swing, telling Turtleboy that she'll come back for him tomorrow. Right after Bingo and Bandit leave, 2 new dogs come to the park, and we find out that the kid's name is Dougie, and they are deaf, which we find out when Dougie's mom starts to do sign language. Again, there doesn't need to be any extra mention here. It's just totally normal. Dougie's mom signs that someone must have left the turtle and then allows Dougie to play with Turtleboy. Before leaving, Dougie's mom tells Dougie to leave Turtleboy there in case the owner comes back, basically mirroring what's happening with Bandit and Bingo. And Dougie puts Turtleboy back and they leave. We then see the sky change, and then the next morning, Bingo comes into the living room where Bandit is doing push-ups and asks if she can watch TV. Bandit says yes and proceeds to sit down next to Bingo and watch the TV with her.
I love this. The dad jokes. You got to throw in dad jokes. They're so fun.
Oh my gosh. She's just like, what are you doing? And then she explains that she actually wants it to be on. I mean, come on, Dad, right? And Bandit says there's no chance because they're going to the park. And Bingo does the same, like, even though like she literally told Turtleboy yesterday that she was going to come back. At the park, Bingo sees Turtleboy and they start to play again. First, they do this timed lap around the swing set, which takes 23 seconds. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And then it cuts to a while later, and Bandit sees some clouds and tells Bingo that it's probably going to rain soon. And Bingo, not wanting Turtleboy to get wet, decides to put Turtleboy underneath what looks like an outdoor barbecue station before they leave, which, good thought there, Bingo. I mean, it looks like a plushie is what I got from it. As they leave, Dougie then arrives with his mom and quickly finds Turtleboy and plays with him on the swing and by the basketball court. The winds begin to pick up as the sky grows darker, and it's time for Dougie to go. After putting the turtle back beneath the table, he asks his mom if he can take him home, and she says no, it's not the done thing. Again, mirroring what's happening with Bandit and Bingo. They leave and we get a scene of it raining at night, but don't worry, Turtleboy is safe and dry under the barbecue station. It's the next morning and Bingo finds him and then proceeds to play with him for a while before they get ready to go. Bingo asks if there will ever be a time that she can take Turtleboy home, as she thinks that the owner might have forgotten him. Bandit decides that if Turtleboy is still at the park the following day, then maybe, although it's still not the done thing. Bingo goes to place him back under the barbecue and decides to move him to the back and place a newspaper on top of him, all under the guise of trying to keep him dry. But really, we all know that Bingo is hoping that if she kind of like puts him to the side and nobody else takes him, that maybe she'll be able to take Turtleboy home.
Tricky Bingo.
For sure.
Bingo, better leave Turtleboy here.
Oh, why can't I take him home?
It's not the done thing, mate. His owner might be looking for him.
Dougie arrives with his mom and starts looking for Turtleboy. And when he can't find him, his mom says that maybe the original owner might have come back for him. This obviously makes Dougie sad, but his mom tries to explain that this could be a good thing, right? They then proceed to play hide and seek. And while hiding, Dougie notices Turtleboy underneath the newspaper, causing him to do a tail wag, which we love so much.
So cute.
When the characters get excited, right? They then play for a bit before having to leave. Dougie's mom tells him to put the turtle back where he found him, but Dougie decides to put him behind a tree. Oh my goodness. The following morning, Bingo returns with Bandit, running straight to where she left Turtleboy, but he's no longer there. Bandit says that maybe the owner came back for him, but Bingo says that that's not what happened. She then confesses that she hit Turtleboy because she didn't want the owner to find him. Bandit tells Bingo that definitely wasn't the done thing, and Bingo apologizes, which is so cute. As they are hugging, Bandit sees Turtleboy behind the tree. Bingo runs over and grabs him and tells Turtleboy that she'll never try to hide him from his owner again. All three play in the park for a while before having to go. Bingo asks Bandit if she can take Turtleboy home, and he responds, "Well, I did say you could, but do you still want to?" Bingo takes a moment and ultimately decides to leave Turtleboy on the swing set. As she and Bandit leave, she tells him that she hopes that Turtleboy's owner comes back soon because she just doesn't want him to be lonely. Like, how cute is that?
So sweet.
So sweet. And as they exit the frame, Dougie and his mom arrive. The end.
Yay, not lonely at all.
No, not lonely at all. Oh my gosh. Such a cute episode.
Yes.
So normally in Bluey episodes, they give us, and I just like ran through the whole thing because it was kind of hard to, there's not much to talk about. It's just kind of the juxtaposition of what's happening between the two characters. But I think the lesson here is like about, I don't know if it's about sharing or not taking things that's other people's. Normally they establish pretty early on what the lesson, somehow like what the lesson's going to be for the episode. They didn't hit us over the head with it. But I do think that at the end of the day, it was probably about sharing or being considerate of others, or I don't know. What'd you get from it?
Yeah, like making decisions based on what's the right thing to do and not necessarily what you want. So like what you want to do, but what is the correct thing to do, like within a social situation, or like what's the right thing to do for the greater good is like, oh, we should prioritize the owner and give the owner a chance before we take it, you know? So that was kind of how I saw it, was just about like not putting our wants before what we really should do for the greater good.
I'm there with you. 100%. So, have you ever found a toy at a playground with your children that was just left there?
I feel like we must have. I can't think of an example that's like this clear. Maybe like in a swimming pool, like the community pool. And so we always play with it and then like leave it behind. But yeah, I can't think of an example this exactly clear. But yeah, there's been times where Charlie's played with things. And then I usually kind of base the decision on like what the item is. Like there's been times where it's been like a McDonald's toy or like a toy you get in like a coin machine that's like very, very like inexpensive and, you know, little. Then it's like, yeah, it's fine, you can keep it. But like a stuffed animal like the Turtleboy is like a bigger, more, you know, something someone would be more attached to or more invested in than just like a little cheapy toy. So we haven't had to make any big decisions like that. Have you?
Dad,
What?
I want to turn the TV on and then watch it.
Oh, right. No chance. We're going to the park.
We found things like cars, like the little metal cars and stuff places. And I think it just kind of, it kind of depends. I've never seen a stuffy before. Yes. A stuffy kind of to me is like in a different tier with kids.
Yeah.
And it could just be because mine is so attached to his stuffies. Like the other night he told me, "Mommy, you're never allowed to sell my stuffies." I was like, I wasn't planning on doing that. And he's like, I know, but when I get older, you are not allowed to sell my stuffies. My stuffies are coming with me. And I was like, okay. So, and I know that your children have stuffies that they're very attached to. So I feel like the stuffy is separate, but also like, it kind of breaks my heart that there's a stuffy just like by itself at the playground. Like I'm with Bingo. Like I don't want it to be alone at night. What if something comes and gets it, you know? Like, I don't know. That makes me sad. I'd probably put up flyers. I'm surprised I didn't like create flyers for the stuffy and put them up around the neighborhood. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I feel like a stuffy left in a park is probably going to get eaten by a dog or something. Like, it's not a good fate.
Or maybe like a squirrel, like taking it and I don't know,
Yeah.
building a nest out of it or something. I kind of worry I worry for Turtleboy. Like, how long? 2 weeks? Like, what's happening here? So, as you mentioned in this episode, they did sign language. So, the sign language that they used in the episode was actually a type of sign language called Auslan, and I'm probably saying that wrong. AUSLAN. So, it's all real, apart from the fact that the Bluey characters only have 4 fingers instead of 5. So, to create it, Ludo collaborated with consultants from Deaf Connect, and Australia's largest provider of whole of life support for the deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf-blind communities. So they actually worked with people to create and make sure that they were representing the different hand signals correctly. Because again, the dogs have 4 fingers versus 5. So they did have to change some stuff. But I think it was also amazing that they actually worked with this consultants and they collaborated on it to make sure that they were representing the deaf community as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm not surprised at all because they do things right, but that's awesome to hear that that's how they did it.
So Dougie and his mom are actually Cavadoodles. So they are a hybrid of a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and a Poodle. And oh my gosh, they are adorable if you look at pictures of them. They are so cute because they're smaller, because the King Charles Cavalier Spaniels are a smaller dog, but then they get all
So fun. I love
fuzzy
that.
and nubby because they're
So
also
cute.
poodles. I know. And I like that they also use a hybrid dog. We haven't seen a whole lot of hybrid dogs on the show yet. Everything's been fairly purebred as far as we can tell. So I think it's kind of cool that they also did a hybrid dog on here.
They're running out of dogs. They got to find new fun ones.
No, there's lots of types of dogs. Oh my goodness. I know. So good. All right. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with this episode?
Oh, I feel like we covered it.
All right, cool. Well, sometimes it's short, people, and sometimes it's long, and that's just how it goes. But I think what we can both say is that this is a really special episode of Bluey, and they did an amazing job. And I'm excited. They always do whatever they're talking about, whether it's like death, or various situations. Bluey always handles it so professionally.
Yeah, they do an amazing job. They nailed it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also, we need some Turtleboy plushies. Like, when is that happening?
We totally do.
Mm-hmm. I can see that coming. I can see them coming. It's
For
just
sure.
So cute a little turtle. All right. Well, see you guys next time. Again, thanks for listening, and come back when we talk onesies. That one's definitely going to be a longer episode for sure. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please, please, please share it with your friends. Go online, rate the podcast, follow us to get the newest content drops right when they release. And of course, message us. You can find us on Instagram at forreallife.pod, or you can send us an email at forreallife.pod@gmail.com. Again, that's FORREALLIFE.pod.